Anakin was supposed to be alone for his fight against Dooku in Episode 3. Obi-Wan wouldn't have been there at all because the two Jedi would have gotten separated in this originally planned hour-long Battle of Coruscant.
And the first sequence, if you will, up until the crash of the Star Destroyer was an hour. So a lot of things had to go.
Now, I have a video coming out that'll actually start from the beginning, with the ground invasion on the city streets. I'm working on a very high-quality animation for the sequence where Shaak Ti protects the Chancellor from General Grievous. It's basically a part 1 of this video, but it doesn't matter which you watch first. That video will have all the extra scenes up until the alternate Anakin vs. Dooku fight, which is exactly where we'll pick up right now. So, Anakin walks in to find Palpatine restrained and guarded by a pair of super battle droids. He dismantles them with ease, and then Dooku enters the scene, backed by a whole squad of super battle droids. There were lots of storyboards made by more than one artist where Dooku's first move is to use his Force Lightning against Anakin. Unlike last time, the young Jedi is able to defend himself against the attack, which would have been a better demonstration of how
my powers have doubled since the last time we met, Count.
In this rehearsal footage, Hayden busts out his signature spin move, and throughout the duel, he also would have been fighting against that squad of droids. Anakin even does a flip over Dooku, and at some point in the duel, Dooku would have revealed that he was the one who made the Sand People kill Anakin's mother. Whether or not this is the truth, it's a clear attempt at manipulating Anakin to draw him to the dark side. But his rage gives him strength, and as they clash, Anakin is able to push one of the sabers against Dooku's eye, blinding him. It's a parallel to the climactic duel in Return of the Jedi, where Vader similarly taunts Luke to get him to unleash his anger.
Then perhaps she will.
Luke throws his lightsaber aside after chopping off Vader's hand, but we all know what happens after Anakin chopped off Dooku's.
Do it.
Which brings us to the next bit of alternate choreography. Dooku tries slicing off Anakin's arm, but the Jedi quickly lets go of his saber and pulls his hands out of the way. When he recatches his weapon, he cuts off both of Dooku's instead. It also would have again shown how Anakin has improved since Episode 2. Dooku was actually supposed to beg for help, but it was Christopher Lee's idea to remove this dialogue, citing that it was out of character for the Sith Lord. After killing Dooku, Anakin hits the emote and busts out a little victory dance. We then cut to Obi-Wan, captured and being led in as a prisoner, while General Grievous brutally snaps the neck of Jedi Master Shaak Ti. This would have been Grievous's introductory scene, and the cold-blooded murder of a fellow Jedi would have immediately established him as a formidable and ruthless enemy. Taunted by the droid general, Obi-Wan is subjected to electrostaff jolts from the Magna Guards, but the Jedi Knight refuses to go down without a fight, evading and dodging their weapons while still locked in cuffs. With the power of the Force, he summons his lightsaber and breaks free from his restraints, ready to destroy the Magna Guards. Obi-Wan uses all of his skill and training to get past the many droids, but after lunging for the general, he discovers that Grievous's armor is resistant to lightsabers. Undeterred, Obi-Wan goes in for another strike, but the general simply grabs the lightsaber with his bare hands and throws the Jedi backward. Amidst the clashing, the ship suddenly starts rotating, so the droids magnetize to the walls and ceiling, making the fight even more chaotic and challenging. While this is going on, Anakin and Palpatine are also trying to make their way through the ship, trying to rendezvous with Obi-Wan. The Jedi were only going to be separated in early versions of the script, so anything that was actually filmed includes both of them together. That's why you can also see Obi-Wan in this deleted scene where the room starts spinning. Some battle droids literally fall out of the hangar bay, but most of them magnetize and stick to the walls. Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Palpatine make a daring escape across a series of pipes, tightrope walking to safety. The battle droids are walking up walls and start blasting at the Jedi. R2 is hanging on for dear life, but ends up falling in that pile of droid debris just like we see in the finished movie. As the Jedi are defending against the incoming blaster fire, Palpatine ends up slipping and is barely holding on. If he fell, he'd go straight down to the surface of Coruscant. Anakin tries to pull him up to safety, but it's actually R2 who flies over to save the day, hoisting the Chancellor back up. Still deflecting a barrage of blaster fire, they eventually make their way into what they believe is a safe area behind a closed door. But little do they know that General Grievous and a pair of his bodyguards are waiting for them on the other side.
Jedi.
In this early version of the script, Grievous actually ignited 2 lightsabers and had a brief duel against Anakin. It wouldn't be long before the coward starts scaling a wall in an attempt to flee, but the Chosen One has a few tricks up his sleeve as well. He uses the Force to throw a crate at Grievous, knocking him off the wall. Anakin tries to pursue him and ends up cutting off one of his hands, but the general keeps running and ultimately escapes. It would have been awesome to see Anakin duel Grievous, but don't forget that in part 1 of the hour-long Battle of Coruscant video, I'm gonna have an insane Grievous vs. Shaak Ti animation. You definitely want to be subscribed so that you don't miss that, and be sure to tap over here to keep watching the coolest Episode 3 deleted scenes.